Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz with the latest roundup of sports today. Pakistan's batting is underway against South Africa in the first test match at the Super Sports Park in Centurion. Pakistan, of course, was put into bat first after South Africa won the toss and Bavuma wanted to bowl first, probably citing conditions. But, after a nervous start, Pakistan managing about 30 plus runs in 14 overs. They looked pretty good, both the openers Shan Masood and Saim Ayub. But as soon as the drinks break was over, Pakistan kept on losing wickets and they lost 4 of them in the span of just a couple of runs. So it was a nightmare when we saw Shan going out on the very first delivery of Bosch. What a dream debut for him, playing in front of his home ground as well and home crowd. After Shan Masood, then it just started. Saim Ayub, Babar Azam, and then Saud Shakil, who was playing brilliantly, started off with 3 fours in an over and looked like a different Saud Shakil. I thought that counter attack's going to work, but then one down the leg side and we lost the 4th wicket as well. After that, Kamran Ghulam and Rizwan have managed to steady the ship. Unfortunate that both of them got out. Kamran Ghulam played a brilliant knock of 50 runs, but unfortunate that that partnership was broken. And now Pakistan still, in a good position to at least get some runs, because as soon as the time progresses, this pitch is going to get a bit quicker. So Pakistani bowlers have got a real opportunity to go through the South Africa batting lineup. So we talk about that in detail. Then, of course, we move on and we discuss some more details with you, and we discuss the Border Gavaskar Trophy in detail as well. We give you all the updates regarding that. Australia versus India has been very, very interesting, and not just the 100 plus runs with 6 wickets down and still a lot to play for tomorrow. I think 400 is pretty much on the cards for Australia, and it's going to be very difficult for India. And this test series, the fate might be sealed, considering that this is a very important test match, still one more to go. But psychological advantage right now rests with Australia. Then we move on and we give you the update where Stallions have been crowned the champions of the Champions T20 Cup. They were brilliant on the day when it mattered the most, posting a total of 200 runs for Markhors to chase. Markhors were well below par and couldn't even manage anything above 130. And disappointing for their cause, but Stallions have been crowned the champion, and we'll discuss and give you all the details regarding this final. A good tournament now comes to a conclusion. Time now to introduce the guests. First of all, in studios, we've been joined by first-class cricketer and expert Kashif Majid. Assalamu alaikum. How are you, Kashif?
Well, Sam, perfectly all right. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. And we've, of course, discussed pretty things regarding Pakistan versus South Africa. And now it's very pertinent that we mention, the core batting strength, which has been that middle order due to the inclusion of Kamran Ghulam as well. So we're going to be discussing that in detail too. And joining us also is senior sports journalist Syed Haider. Assalamu alaikum, sir. Welcome to Sports Extra. How are you?
Walaikum assalam, Ahmed. Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us as well, sir. Now, of course, let's take a look at the top 4 wickets that fell for Pakistan on this day, and then we continue.
Getting here, but on the test cricket taking sheet already. Good catch by Marco Jansen, came at a comfortable heart for the big fella. But that's exactly what South Africa have been discussing at the drinks break, and it's the debutant who delivers. Over Azamov, done pretty well, though. There we go. The area's hit, nothing wrong with the shot, just a fantastic.
Still comes to an end. This was such a good delivery. He had to commit to that line. Not a lot of sideways movement, just enough to get the outside edge. Maybe the bat coming down at a crooked angle. Playing from the crease, playing with soft hands. Did most things right, but still that side edge, and he's gone.
Away from his body, he could have just watched it go by. He's only been there for the 10 deliveries before this one. And I tell you what, that's a really good catch from Aiden Markram, because it was close to Tristan Stubbs. Sometimes it gets into your eye line. Dane Patterson, I thought he would be the effective bowler for South Africa on the surface. He's not the tall who hit the right leg, and he's proved to do so. Babar Azam goes for...
Well, like I said, a couple of wickets did fell when it mattered the most for Pakistan, but it was a very interesting phase of play. Kashif, what do you make for it so far? Pakistan right now have managed to gain a bit of that momentum back, courtesy of Kamran Ghulam and Rizwan, but with both their dismissals now, the onus is still on Pakistan.
I guess it's a wicket where every now and then the batsman can face a wicket-taking delivery. Most probably not just the skill set of the bowlers is in in the question, but also the skill set of the pitch itself, because it's an invariable bounce, and they've talked about it that the last couple of test matches in Super Sport Park Centurion, there was an invariable bounce. And that was, if you remember, last time Pakistan visited those shows, Mickey Arthur and the was part of the Pakistani setup, and everybody questioned the pitches prepared for this test series, because I'm not sure why South Africa is coming up with those invariable bounce sort of wickets. KG Rabada hitting the good length and the ball flies over the keeper's head. KG Rabada hitting the good length and balls kept low till the knee high. And this is where it's very difficult for the batters to survive on this surface. It's just not about the sideways movement, it's the upward and the downward movement that causes a lot of trouble. And for me, right now, with 169 for 6 Pakistan, I think a platform is set for Agha Salman and Amir Jamal, and both of them know how to bat with the tail. And so they can build up a partnership, and Agha Salman has got still a chance. And I think he's one guy who knows how to rotate the strike, who knows how to manage the pressure, and who knows how to go about his business when the tail is up. So let's see how Agha Salman can cope up with this pressure. And most probably 169 for 6. I still believe Pakistan is in good condition, having batting first in this surface.
Considering South Africa is batting 250, is that something we can call a safe total at the moment?
I guess to start with, as far as I know, with my experience, this wicket will not slow up throughout the course of this test match. It will quicken up. Yes. It will quicken up. And most probably this is the slowest day for this wicket. And as the match progresses, the ball will carry, the ball will jag around. And if we score 100 to 250 runs, I think that will be a total where we can get some sort of a lead in the first innings, because with this South African batting and with the bowling resources we have got, all of them know, most probably the leader of the pack for in the Pakistani fast bowling lineup is Naseem Shah. But apart from Naseem Shah, Abbas and Khurram Shahzad, both of them know how to hunt in pairs, and also how to take wickets on these surfaces, because they've been playing domestic cricket for quite some time. And with Amir Jamal's inclusion to someone to bang the ball in, I guess Pakistan got a quality bowling lineup. And since we are batting first, so the last batting belongs to South Africa, maybe a spin net can be talk of the town, that Agha Salman or someone, maybe Saim Ayub can have a ball. But right now, Pakistan, with this wicket, this conditions, I think in quite a comfortable position.
Well, certainly. Sir Haider, how would you highlight, because even the commentator said that maybe Bavuma missed the trick, that this pitch is going to get a bit quicker and Pakistani bowlers will be at you when you're out to bat second as well. But obviously, after losing 4 wickets, Kamran Ghulam's domestic experience has really worked for Pakistan so far.
Yeah, that's true. The Centurion is the fastest wicket along with Brisbane. And Centurion, they have always, the wicket is famous for the fast bowlers and seaming track. And there we have seen today that for South African bowlers, they have bowled very well. And Pakistani batters, they were in problem. And it is always same. South African tour is always difficult for the Pakistani batters. And same like that, now the batters, they are struggling there. But we have to give some marks to the Pakistan batting. Kamran Ghulam, he has batted very well. I think all the batters, they have decided to go for their runs before getting a difficult ball and get them out. So therefore, every batter is trying to get runs on every ball. Kamran Ghulam, he was in hitting mode. He has a good series, one-day series and T20 one-day series of South African tour, and Zimbabwe one-day series, good series. So therefore, Kamran Ghulam, he was not so struggling like Babar Azam or Shan Masood, other batters were. And this is the point there. If you are very much clear in your mind that what you have to do, then you will be successful. And Kamran Ghulam made an example that if you are taking on the bowlers and you are trying to get the runs actually on these deliveries also, which are difficult for you, then you will be successful. And as said, Kashif, that 250 will be a good total, as you have said also that 250. And I think also 250, it will be a good total for the Pakistan team if the Pakistani bowlers, they can handle the pitch. It is true that if the Pakistani bowlers, if they cannot bowl like that South African bowlers and use the bouncy track, then they will not be successful like the South African bowlers. But otherwise, the Pakistani bowlers, they have also good chance to get out South African batters also, and someone in the South African batting, they are struggling still. Adam Markham, he's not in good form. Bavuma, he has played very well against Sri Lanka Test series, but in one day series, he was not in a good form. So I think at this moment, if 160, 170 plus Pakistan have their score right now, and if they can get 250, 260 runs, then it will be very interesting in the first inning of the South Africa.
But I think it really matters how Pakistan now psychologically approach this test match, because like I said, that even though losing 4 wickets, but it really helps Kashif when you realize Kamran Ghulam's inclusion into the Pakistani middle order in test cricket. For the past 1 year, it really has been about Saud Shakil who steady the ship, but probably it gives him more range as well, having Kamran at the other end.
I guess with Kamran's Ghulam's inclusion, the benefit Kamran's inclusion was the Kamran has a history of playing first class cricket in Islamabad. He was part of Islamabad, the region's team for a few years. And when we talk about Kamran's Ghulam, he was primarily a left arm spinner at that time. Why I'm coming up with this story is it's more of like a diamonds wicket, where you know that you have to target a certain shots and you cannot let go those balls, and one of them is the cut shot. You cannot just let go that cut shot, because this is the loose stuff you will find throughout the day and nothing else. And most probably there is a mantra when we used to be part of that team in Islamabad region, that you should score runs, because eventually you'll get a ball which is a wicket taking ball, and this is how it is. You can never be sure as a batsman that you are settled even if scoring a century on those kind of a track, because there is always an invariable bounce, and that will caught you with surprise at times, even scoring after a century. I mean, you're looking at the ball with it seems like a football to you, but eventually a ball will kick out of nowhere of the surface, and you'll handle that, and you will edge that towards the gully area.
So what's the trick? Because a lot of the commentary today was about how you should be playing a bit late, the way Saim was playing. So was the trick to play as late as you can on this pitch?
It is one part of the trick to play as late as possible, but I don't want to state that eventually Saim got out, so without scoring much of the runs. So the trick was Kamran's Ghulam's inning, go out, play your pull shots, go out, play your cut shots, no matter what, no matter who the bowler is and what the length is, and wait for those balls who are slightly over pitch, and just defend your stumps. Just put out the equation of getting bowled out or LBW, sticking to your basics, but just wait for those deliveries who are short enough, because this is not a quick wicket. It's not a surface where ball just quicken up after the delivery. It's of a wicket which has got a tennis ball bounce at times, and simultaneously it has got movement, right and left. So this can be a tricky surface. As a batter, we always feel that we should wait on the back foot for all those deliveries who are pitch short, or most probably who are pitch over pitch deliveries, because Amar Jamal started his innings with an over pitch delivery and crest towards the covers boundary. So these 2 or 3 deliveries, you just have to wait them, or else the way Rizwan and Kamran Ghulam approach, just use your feet against the likes of Dan Patterson, who's bowling 125 kph, and just put him off his good length area.
Well, during that interesting conversation, Pakistan has lost the 7th wicket. So Ahmed Jamal now returns back to the pavilion. Bosch has managed to take another wicket, and Pakistan now 187 for 7. Yes, Kashif.
And just before Amar Jamal's dismissal, 2 drop catches for him within the few deliveries, and this time around he wanted to take we wanted to play those expensive drives towards the cover, got an inside edge into the stump. So as a batter, you never settled in this pitch. So the best thing you can do as a batter is just go out and play your shots, score few runs, because at the end of the day, this scoring on the scoreboard does matter, and eventually we Pakistani team being batting first would like to have 230 plus or 250, and most probably Salman Ali Agha is there, he can do that.
Well, certainly. So Pakistan 48.5 now, have lost their 7th wicket. But still, I think somebody's got to support Salman, and I think Naseem Shah is the prime candidate once again, becomes very important. But Sir Haider, what's a safe bet on this kind of surface that is bound to get a bit quicker and Pakistani bowlers will be in the action? Something around 250 or even more?
250, I think it's a competitive target score of Pakistan team. In the first inning, South Africa, they will be struggling also. The wicket is not friendly for the batters, and Pakistani bowlers, they have a chance to get the wickets early on. But the question is that the Pakistani bowlers, if they will bowl like South African bowlers, then it will be possible. Otherwise, they cannot get. Because Mohammad Abbas, we know that he's a swing bowler. He's not a good bowler on the seaming wicket. I'm very much surprised of inclusion of Mohammad Abbas on the Centurion wicket. It could be better if Mir Hamza will be there in Pakistan team. Shaheen Shah Afridi, we have dropped already. Otherwise, Shaheen Shah Afridi could be a very fruitful for the Pakistan team on Centurion wicket, but he's not there. But Mir Hamza, he could be better there. But anyhow, Aqib Javed is the head coach. He's a fast bowler. He knows better than us. Definitely, he's seeing something for the Mohammad Abbas there. But it's difficult for the batters there. Now, what could be the target for the South Africa the first inning? 250, 260 is an ideal. But now at this moment, we are seeing that they have lost 7 wickets. Now the talent is there with the Salman Ali and how much Salman Ali can resist, and other talents they can have to Salman Ali. Otherwise, if they will be out below than 200 or 210, 20, then it will be an edge for the South Africa to get something. But I'm sure that the test will be ended on Thursday in the morning or in the day midday session. It will be finished because the pitch is not giving any help to the batters, and it's a bowler friendly pitch, and therefore the bowlers will be successful either side, Pakistan or South Africa.
Well, certainly, but then again, I think Pakistan very much in this test match, and we still have the upper hand. I truly believe, I think 250 something, if that is achievable, Pakistan would be very much in the game when they come out to bowl as well. That being said, we move on to the Border Gavaskar Trophy as well, where Australia, of course, lost 6 wickets on a day which was very, very interesting. Have a look at the fall of wickets first, and then we discuss it further. Well, there you have it. But once again, Jasprit Bumrah is the only silver lining in this Indian setup. And I think you remove him from the equation, nothing is very much left. Kashif, how would you highlight the close of play on day one?
The day belongs to Australia, although the wicket is slightly on the batter side, batters friendly we can say, but still Australia have scored few runs, and Steve Smith is just still there with Pat Cummins, and we can know that we are sure about Pat Cummins that he can be used as a proper all-rounder. We can term him as a proper all-rounder, and he can bat. And if they were able to score under around 400 or 400 plus, I think that will be a victory for Australia batting first on this surface, because eventually Australia will be bowling 4th in the surface in this surface, and this wicket, this can turn on the
but
third.
Two very interesting things have happened this week. Kashif's debut for the veterans and Constas' debut for Australia. And I think both of them have been very interesting. Let's take a look at the innings of Constas, and then of course Kashif will talk us through as well, because I think a 19-year-old George Bailey was asked why you playing him, and he said we want to throw something different at the Indian bowlers. But have a look at his innings. What a dream debut for him, getting amongst the runs in this test match. Well, what an interesting day. But Kashif, I'm sure you're feeling nostalgic. Your debut would have been pretty much the same. But it's just been a superb day for Constas.
I guess it's one of a kind, one of a day that where you can see that you wanted everything happens your way, and it just did. Most probably Constas haven't thought about it, and it's just the way it is, and he just went there with a full license to do whatever he wanted to do, and what he did was, you know, I was just listening to Mark Nicholas or someone. No one has done this thing to Bumrah entire series, and this 18 or 19-year-old kid. He just went there, and most probably after the test match, he'll be going to his school and his classes, and he's saying, this is what Indian cricket is all about, and this is how I play. And it's very important to find out the mentality of the Australian, and particularly George Bailey, who said that we wanted to throw something different. And that different, India would not have imagined that different, because someone coming in as a debutant and playing those high risk shots, those scoops and those lap shots, and then he tried twice or thrice, using the feet against Bumrah, who've been taking wickets with the average of 10 point something in this series. So this was just not there for India. They haven't thought about it, that someone can come as a debutant and can use and step down the wicket to Jasprit Bumrah or Siraj. And most probably, by the time Indians realize that what they have to do about this guy, he has already scored 60 runs on the debut and neutralized all the effect of Australia's batting first, and the benefit goes to the Indian bowling lineup. So that neutralization means that Marnus Labuschagne, Steve Smith, all of them actually have got slightly older ball, or you can say the semi-new ball to play with, and they utilize that. It's unfortunate for Travis Head, he got out on 0, but still, as you said, that he got out on 0 and the top 4 scored runs. So now when we talk about Australia, everybody's in the form.
No, the balance the equation. Something like what Pakistan have done, and probably following in the footsteps of Saima Yu. Play a youngster as quickly as you can. But only in Australia can you find that happening. Sir Haider, how would you comment on the debut of Constas, where George Bailey said we want to throw something different? And I think even if you go on the basis of numbers, just 11 first-class games for him, with an average of above 40, scoring briskly as well. So there wasn't anything to support that argument as well. But at the end of the day, it works for Australia.
Yeah, simply brilliant. Really, it's dream start of the Consols. Sam Consols, he has played side match in Canberra and he's got a century. Therefore, he has been selected for the Melbourne Test, and he has played in the same manner, same fashion he has done as he has done in the Canberra. He was targeting the man bowlers of India, and today we have seen also he has done really in a marvelous form. And it's a difference between other players and Sam Consols, that he was enjoying his cricket. He was enjoying his batting at number 1, and he knows that he is debuting, and he will get a chance only if he in next Test matches, if he will get some runs. But still he was aggressive. He has shown his aggression, his concentration, and his mindset. How he is so much focused to the modern day cricket, and he has played in such manner, and he has dispersed the Indian bowling. This was his object, and he was successful. Unfortunately, he got in the very first inning of his career, misconduct of the Virat Kohli and some confrontation on the pitch. Really, it's not a good start for a young man, 19 years old, and Virat Kohli is 36, 37 years old. I could not expect that Virat Kohli could do some such type of things with a youngster. Virat Kohli should encourage the youngster. If he's playing in your against side, still you have to encourage him. And Sam Consols, he has proved that if you have a talent and you're enjoying your cricket, then you can do everything against a classical fast bowling side of the India, Bumrah and other bowlers. He has managed very well. I think the same time, if Saima Yu, he could play today, same innings like he has played in the one-day cricket, then he could be also successful today in a Test match. But he was something in a shell, and he was trying to stay on the pitch. Therefore, he has got him out. Otherwise, if he could play his national game, he could be like Sam Consols today.
But Sir Heather, what lies ahead for India is very important. You remove Rohit and Kohli from the equation. They're in the twilight of their career. Batting lineup still struggling, very immature, failing to handle spin even when Santner got the better of them in the home series against New Zealand. Then you look at this bowling. If there's no Jasprit Bumrah, very lackluster fast bowling as well. It's a very one-dimensional approach at the moment for India.
Yeah, absolutely. It's India. Actually, they have won T20 World Cup. So they were in a relaxed mode, and they are not going to hunt real talent for their team. They are still relying on the old guys, and old cows, they are not in a good form. They have to go something like that other teams are doing, England or South Africa, or still Pakistan is doing better than India, and Pakistan is not relying on the old guys. Pakistan have dropped one of the best batter of the world, Babar Azam, in Test matches, and they have got someone Kamran Ram, and he has performed. He has performed well in the against England, also in South Africa today. He has played well. So if you will give the chances to newcomers, then you will get some good players. But India, they are something in a ritual way. They are only trying to get something only from the old guys, and they are not successful. Therefore, this is the point that the Indian selector Ajit Agarkar, he has to understand also. Even he is giving chances to other youngsters, but it's a lack of the young players in the Indian team than the other teams of the world.
Well, obviously, the next assignment, Sir Haider, is the Champions Trophy after this one. And I understand that, Gautam Gambhir as the head coach would have a lot of focus on that tournament as well, which they're banking on. But, once that comes to an end, it's a very difficult phase because one of their prime responsibilities right now is also to look at the next captain for India. And although I think Surya Kumar Yadav can do pretty well in T20s, which is, mastering troops in a 20-over game, but one day and test will still remain a big question mark for India's fate of a skipper.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a big question mark for the Indian team. Who will be the captain in the Champions Trophy? Still, Rohit Sharma, he is trying to get the space in the national team. And if he will be there, then I think India will go with him to get a captain. But I think this is the time there. Rohit Sharma and other, they have to withdraw themselves from the national team and give chance to Surya Kumar Yadav and Riku Singh and a lot of good players there. They are available in India, but still they don't have space to come into the national team because Rohit Sharma, Kohli, and others, they are occupying KL Rahul, they are occupying the space, and therefore they are struggling. But it's a big question mark on the Indian team. And Indian team, they have to perform well also because they have chosen Dubai for the final. So they have to prove that they are the finalists and they will play in the Dubai. Otherwise, their stance, it will be denoted that they were wrong in their stance, and what they have done before the Champions Trophy. It's really it's not good for the cricket. And now at this moment, when India is losing the series against Australia, and then they will back to India, then a lot of criticism will be on the Indian team, Indian captain Rohit Sharma and other, because personally they are not performing well. Their performance is not good, and team is losing the matches. So therefore, it will be a lot of burden on chief selector Agarkar and the head coach Gautam Gambhir and Rohit Sharma to get some changes at the right time. Otherwise, they will not be in position to get the final in Dubai.
Certainly. I think that really makes a lot of sense as well. But thank you very much, Sir Haider, for joining us. Kashim, thank you very much to you as well for joining us as well. Now, before we go, we're of course going to leave you with the details of the Champions T20 Cup that came to a spectacular close. It was Stallions who got the better of the Markhors and were crowned champions of this inaugural season. You take a look at this report by Sabah, which has all the details regarding this tournament and the final. But from me and the entire team, it will be goodbye for now.
Stallions outplayed Markhors by 75 runs to clinch the title in the final of the Champions T20 Cup at Rawalpindi Cricket Stadium. Earlier, Stallions won the toss and elected to bat first. Stallions set a target of 200 runs for Markhors. Stallions made 199 runs for the loss of 5 wickets in the allotted 20 overs. Yasir Khan remained the top scorer with century, hitting 7 sixes and 5 fours, while Jandad Khan added 22 runs. For Markhors, Akif Javed bagged 2, while Mohammad Nawaz, Mohammad Imran and Mohammad Faizan took 1 wicket each. In reply, Markhors only managed to score 124 runs. Mohammad Faizan remained top scorer with 43 runs. For Stallions, Mohammad Ali grabbed 3 wickets, while Jandad Khan took 2 wickets. Federal Minister for Information Ataullah Tarar was the chief guest at the prize distribution ceremony. Yasir Khan declared player of the match.